Notorious bigot Derick Dillard's transphobia is so intense that it tanked his reality career. Some of his fans hope that he might express some degree of regret, or maybe even apologize, for verbally attacking a teenage girl. Instead, Derick says that people should just get over it already. Ugh. Question: what do you consider to be the most pressing civil rights questions? Derick asked his followers on Twitter. It's not the right question to ask, since no single issue can be tackled alone. Civil rights work has to be intersectional or it does little good. Thank you. Derick replied to a no longer available tweet. There's no right answer, I'm just interested in what people feel are the biggest issues. I agree with you. He then affirmed to his follower that we should always treat everyone with dignity and fairness. Great. Replies another tweet, who then asks Derick, so you can now apologize to Jennings, right? Instead of ignoring the tweet or replying hey, that's a good idea, he instead doubled down on his general awfulness. Oh, get over it already, Derick demanded. He wrote, any comments were directed at TLC and the parents. I love Jennings, he claimed, all evidence to the contrary. Then, in a sentence that would be random if you didn't know how his twisted mind works, he concluded, we have got to protect children. See, Derick Dillard thinks that Jennings' parents are abusing her by accepting and affirming who she is. While it's absurd and insulting for anyone to claim that, it's almost comical coming from someone who married into the Duggar family. Even before Josh's molestation scandal was uncovered, the Duggars were notorious for their monstrously abusive parenting practices. In the meantime, Jaz's parents simply let her be herself from a young age, giving her love and emotional support. But to Derick's distorted worldview, a good parent would force their child to live out a lie that matches whatever was scribbled on their birth certificate. In August of 2017, totally out of the blue, Derick took to Twitter to rail against TLC for the show. I Am Jazz has followed Jennings for years as she experiences her teenage years. Jazz is very fortunate in that her family has been supportive of her gender since she was very young. She's always known that she is a girl. She was also able to undergo bottom surgery, the term for genital alteration, sometimes known as gender confirmation surgery. Not all trans folks experience enough dysphoria to get bottom surgery, or have the money to afford it if they wanted to. But Jazz underwent that in 2018. TLC's cameras follow Jazz through that part of her journey, and that's part of why Derick thinks that the show is bad. Even though trans folks have existed across numerous cultures for thousands of years, Derick thinks that hiding their existence from kids will magically stop kids from being trans. That's not a surprising point of view. His ilk have been saying the same about gay and bi people for generations. It's not true for him, either. What really happens when you raise your kids in a bubble where they don't know about LGBTQ+ folks is that kids who think something's wrong with them. Some will go into denial. Others will live with their secret for decades, feeling misplaced shame over who they are. Either Derick would prefer that minorities remain silent, invisible, and miserable. Or he really thinks that they just hear of trans people existing and go, oh, I'll try that for fun. So no, Derick, people are not going to get over your clownish transphobia. It got you fired and it got you hated, and you deserve both.